Ever pondered why penguins mate for life but humans can't seem to make it past the 7-year itch? For those of you who are perplexed, let's delve into the intriguing world of monogamy, a social construct that has had humans scratching their heads for centuries. We'll start by differentiating between two types of monogamy, short-term and long-term. Short-term monogamy, as the name suggests, is a brief, intense relationship. It's a whirlwind romance that burns brightly but often fades quickly. Long-term monogamy, on the other hand, is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a deep, enduring bond that spans years, even decades. Now, you might be wondering, which type are humans naturally inclined towards? The answer is a bit complicated. You see, humans aren't naturally monogamous, not like our feathered friends, the swans or penguins. Instead, we're a rather fickle species, constantly seeking novelty and change. This might explain why the divorce rates in the Western world are alarmingly high. In fact, there's an interesting statistic to consider. In the Western world, approximately half of all marriages end in divorce. That's right, half. And here's another surprising fact. Over 70% of these divorces are initiated by women. It seems that the fairer sex has a hypergamous nature, always on the lookout for a better perceived mate, a phenomenon that can strain even the most solid bonds of matrimony. So if we're not naturally inclined towards long-term monogamy, why do we continue to walk down the aisle to say "I do" and to tie the knot? Why do we strive for a lifelong commitment that goes against our biological instincts? Is it societal pressure, or is there something deeper at play? So, if humans aren't naturally monogamous, why do we insist on tying the knot? Let's unravel this mystery together. Did you know that over 70% of divorces are initiated by women? No, it's not because men forget anniversaries. Let's dive into this intriguing statistic. The term for this phenomenon is hypergamy, a fancy term that essentially translates to marrying up. Now, you might be thinking, wait, does this mean my wife is eyeing the handsome billionaire next door? Well, not necessarily. Hypergamy is not about ditching the hubby because he forgot to take the trash out or because he snores like a bear in hibernation. It's a socio-biological concept that suggests women are naturally inclined to seek partners who can provide better social and economic security. It's not about chasing the next shiny object, but about seeking stability and protection, a trait that has its roots deep in our evolutionary history. Now, before the menfolk start panicking, let's debunk some myths. No, not every woman is on a constant hunt for a better partner. And no, it's not a conscious decision that women wake up and make one fine day. It's a deep-seated, often unconscious, biological tendency, just like men's inclination towards certain traits that signal fertility and good genes. But here's the kicker. Hypergamy doesn't just mean women leaving men. It also means women striving to improve their current relationship. So, if your partner is pushing you to get that promotion or to fix that leaky faucet, it might be her hypergamous nature nudging you towards being the best version of yourself. And let's not forget, times are changing. With more women becoming financially independent, the dynamics of hypergamy are shifting too. So while hypergamy may have been a survival mechanism in the past, today it's more about personal growth and mutual evolution within a relationship. So ladies, next time your man forgets your anniversary, remember there's a biological reason he's doing it. And guys, it's not all bad news. There's a silver lining here for you too. Fellas, ever felt like you're always on the hunt for a better mate? You're not alone. And it's not entirely your fault. You see, your mind is a product of millions of years of evolution, and it's been wired to ensure the survival of your genes. This is where the concept of mate selection comes into play. Our ancient ancestors were always on the lookout for the healthiest, strongest, and most fertile partners to ensure their offspring would have the best chance of survival. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not a caveman, why should I care? Well, even though our society has changed drastically, our brains haven't had time to catch up. So that old caveman instinct, it's still kicking around in there, guiding your preferences and desires. This biological drive is often referred to as mate choice in scientific circles. It's an instinctive process that makes us seek out the best possible partner. For men, this typically means a woman who is young, healthy, and fertile. Traits that our caveman brains equate with the ability to bear and raise healthy children. But here's where it gets tricky. In the modern world, this biological drive can sometimes clash with our societal norms and personal values. We live in a world that values long-term monogamy, but our biology is still playing by the rules of the caveman days. This can put a strain on relationships, leading to dissatisfaction, restlessness, or even infidelity. It's a tough reality to face, but understanding our biological impulses can help us navigate these challenges more effectively. So, what's the solution? Well, it's not as simple as suppressing these instincts. After all, they're a part of who we are. Instead, we need to acknowledge them and learn to manage them in a way that aligns with our modern values and lifestyle. So, gentlemen, next time your eyes wander, blame it on your caveman instincts. But remember, evolution also gave us self-control. So we've learned that our biological urges can wreak havoc on our relationships. But what can we do about it? Well, the answer lies in understanding these drives and using them to our advantage. Let's delve into the practical side of things, shall we? First things first, don't panic. It's not all doom and gloom. Just because we're biologically wired in a certain way doesn't mean we're destined to follow these paths. We're not robots, after all. We can choose to act differently. So take a deep breath and let's get cracking. Now, when it comes to relationships, it's crucial to be realistic. Understand that the high of the honeymoon phase won't last forever. That doesn't mean the love is gone. It's just evolving. It's like a fine wine, aging to perfection. So don't let the shift from passionate love to companionate love catch you off guard. Next, communication is key. Remember, your partner isn't a mind reader. If you want something, say it. If something bothers you, talk about it. The more open you are, the better your relationship will be. And remember, it's not just about speaking, it's about listening too. Thirdly, appreciate the little things. A simple thank you can go a long way. Show gratitude for your partner and they're more likely to reciprocate. It's a win-win situation. Lastly, always keep growing, both individually and as a couple. Complacency is the enemy of long-term relationships, so learn new skills, explore new places, and keep the spark alive. And there you have it, folks, a quick guide to navigating the intricate labyrinth of relationships, armed with the power of understanding our biological drives. It might seem daunting, but remember, every journey starts with a single step. So take that step and embrace the adventure that is love. And remember, gentlemen, knowledge is power. The only way to navigate the wild world of dating is to understand your own biology and to use that understanding to your advantage. So, monogamy, is it a hopeless cause or a noble pursuit? An intriguing question, isn't it? Over the course of this video, we've sifted through the layers of monogamy, and now it's time to wrap it all up in a neat little package. Let's start with a recap. We've seen how the landscape of long-term and short-term monogamy differs, each with its own unique challenges and rewards. The long-term journey can offer stability, companionship, and a deep, enduring love. Yet it also demands commitment, patience, and a willingness to weather life's storms together. On the other hand, short-term relationships can provide excitement, novelty, and a chance to explore different aspects of oneself. But they might also lack the depth and intimacy that can only be built over time. Then we delved into the thorny issue of divorce, particularly in the Western world. We learned that women initiate over 70% of divorces, possibly influenced by their innate hypergamous nature. But let's not forget, men too have their own biological drives that can challenge the monogamous bond. So where does that leave us? Well, it brings us to the crux of the matter, the monogamy manifesto, if you will. Monogamy, like any relationship model, is a personal choice, influenced by a myriad of factors. It's about understanding our own biology, our desires, our needs, and our capacity for love and commitment. It's about striking a balance between the ideal and the real, the heart and the mind, the now and the forever. So whether you're considering a long-term partnership or a series of shorter relationships, remember this. It's not about finding the perfect partner, but about understanding yourself. Who you are, what you want, and how you love. And while we're navigating these complex waters, let's not lose sight of the most important thing. The capacity to love, to connect, to grow, because at the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about? So whether you're a penguin or a person, remember, monogamy isn't about finding the perfect partner, it's about understanding yourself. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep loving.